Hello guys, welcome to the Al Rasta channel to discuss and explain the exciting storyline of your favorite series SwallowedStar episode 194. In the previous episode, we saw Luofeng finally visit Star Tower, the location in extraterritorial battlefield number 7 that is said to be the most intense. The place is filled with many corridors and restricted areas containing powerful puppet guards. At first, Luofeng came there just to experience how intense the place was and to test his current strength. But who would have thought that Luofeng's arrival, unbeknownst to him, triggered the emergence of the Sealed Star treasure, a very valuable treasure coveted by many warriors of various races. So, what happens next? Alright, without further ado, let's dive right into the story. As Luofeng was on his way to the gathering point where Tianzhen was located, he was intercepted by several warriors from the machine race. Among them was a warrior from the same tribe as King Purple Clock, who introduced himself as Chen Hun. During the introduction, Luofeng cut off the enemy's speech and said that if the enemy had come for revenge, they might as well fight right away. Feeling annoyed that his speech had been cut off, Chen Hun informed Luofeng that even though he had been able to face 18 immortal kings in a row on the Yanji continent before, in the Star Tower, which was filled with many powerful masters, Luofeng would not have the qualifications to be arrogant. Confidently, Chen Hun was sure he could kill Luofeng on the spot. When he looked around, he saw that there were already many machine races surrounding them. But what was unexpected was that at that moment, behind Chen Hun's back, Zhang Jian was already there, waiting to grasp him. Although he managed to escape from his grasp, Zhang Jian was able to quickly get close to the enemy's position and release an arrow right in front of Chen Hun, instantly knocking the enemy to the ground and killing him. Zhang Jian emphasized that anyone who dared to touch his master would die. Although he looked tough on the outside, he was actually cute. If there had been no glass in his armor, this rodent might not have known that his face was covered with scribbles from Babata, who had teased him while he was sleeping earlier. So fast was it that Babata, who was playing cards with Atuka, forgot the name of the enemy who had just died. Before the battle resumed, a portal to the main corridor opened. Rather than continuing to fight, they all decided to rush into the exit portal. When they were back in the corridor area, Luofeng was shouted at by a machine warrior who asked why Luofeng had killed Chen Hun earlier. Surrounded by enemies, Luofeng simply said that Chen Hun had been foolish and had forgotten that the weak should not provoke the strong, or else they would suffer the consequences. That was the law of the universe. Luofeng also boldly said that if they all wanted revenge for the death of the foolish Chen Hun, then let's just fight. But if they chose to fight, they would only waste their energy at the beginning, before they fought for the sealed star that was about to form. This would also benefit the warriors of other races. When Luofeng said that, at the same time a group of insect races passed by them. And of course, in the end, the battle between them would be postponed for a while. The group of machine races decided to leave and continue their journey, followed by Luofeng, who also left to move to another location. Still in the vicinity of Star Tower while flying, Luofeng sensed a presence attempting to connect with Arena, Luofeng's insect queen. The presence that made Luofeng tremble turned out to be from a warrior of the insect race who was flying with him. However, it did not come directly from the insect race he saw, but from a powerful figure hiding inside the world ring carried by the insect. From the pressure alone, Luofeng was sure that the figure hiding there was stronger than the group of machine races he had encountered before. After flying for quite a while, Luofeng finally re-entered the Forbidden Space, a barren desert where many races had gathered. Among them were a group of humans and King Tianzhen, who had promised to meet Luofeng. As a figure who had made his race famous, Luofeng, aka King Blade River, received a boisterous welcome from the warriors there, who shouted his name. Tung Chi was also seen paying his respects directly to Luofeng. Tianzhen then explained that at that time, all the races gathered at that place were there to fight for the sealed star. Gradually, the place began to be visited by many warriors, even legions of thousands of soldiers. Therefore, Tianzhen felt a little relieved with Luofeng's presence, who would certainly provide great help to his group. So then, which legion posed the greatest threat to them? Luofeng asked. Tianzhen informed him that there were several threatening forces they had to be wary of, including Nancheng, who came from a race of insects known for their cunning and strategic prowess. Then there was a machine race called King Lifefall, also known as Ming Yun, who commanded a large army of powerful automaton puppets. Then there was King Black Tomb, also known as Xuan Mu, who came from the demon race. Even though he was so low, his presence alone was enough to shake a large-scale legion. Their powers were all close to that of the invincible Immortal King. Moreover, many of them also had strong troops under their command, which were certainly no less threatening. The invincible Immortal King means that the three people mentioned earlier by Tianzhen are almost on par with their master, Luofeng, King Zhen Yan. Not long after, another person appeared, this time from the human race, whose arrival immediately caused many powerful warriors to kneel in submission. The man seemed to hold a high position, as he walked past Luofeng and Tianzhen without paying them any respect. Luofeng was certainly very curious. Who exactly was this powerful figure? This human warrior's strength was no less than the three people Tianzhen had mentioned earlier, famous under the nickname King Seven Blade. He was reportedly a personal disciple of a high-ranking member from the huge Axe Dojo, one of the 5 major organizations in the universe, and his talent was far greater than that of Bolden, who had recently gained prominence. However, because his power was too strong, he alone could attract many followers. So, the number of human warriors who would join Luofeng and Tianzhen's army would become even fewer. After discussing the current situation, a portal soon reappeared, connecting directly to another forbidden area. This portal would bring the warriors closer to the location where the sealed star was formed. The location was still the same as before, a barren plain. But when they suddenly arrived there, everyone could see a blue vortex on the surface, which was the hole where the sealed star was formed. Those who were able to overcome various difficulties and successfully arrive there were mostly at the Immortal King level. If you count the total number of warriors there, it reaches more than 100,000, which is even equivalent to the total number of Immortal Kings in the Hongmong Alliance. This means that a massive attack will soon take place there. Zhang Jian had never seen so many Immortal Kings gathered in one place before, and he found it terrifying. Even if each of them were in a different place, they would clearly be powerful warriors capable of shaking a region. And now, they were all gathered here just to fight over the sealed star, especially since there was only one. From the blue vortex on the surface, the object that the warriors had been waiting for finally appeared. It was a kind of heavy treasure that was known to be able to seal the warrior universe Venerable forever, even though its user was only at the Immortal level. The birth of the sealed star, which slowly appeared on the surface, made the atmosphere even more tense. The figure that had been hiding inside the ring, and whom Luofeng had sensed earlier, had also appeared. It was Nanqing, the insect queen of that army. Meanwhile, the commander of the machine race asked his troops not to lose their minds just because of the spectacular sight before them. He also conveyed several important points from the plan they had formed at the beginning. What exactly was the king's lifefall plan for the machine race? On the other hand, Luofeng now faced more than 100,000 immortal kings who would compete for the sealed star, and some of them were very threatening beings, including King Sevenblade, who was not on the same side as Luofeng's group. Luofeng, whose side consisted of only dozens of human warriors, felt that they would have difficulty obtaining the sealed star. "Don't worry about that," said Tianzhen, because their allies would be arriving soon. And sure enough, not long after, thousands of other human race soldiers arrived, commanded by King Kuwu. This time, They would be a useful aid in the battle for the sealed star. In front of everyone, Tianzhen spoke loudly, saying that in this battle for treasure, powerful warriors from various races across the universe had emerged. Only by uniting could they have a chance to fight back. Therefore, starting from here, they would form a temporary alliance, advancing and retreating together. Then King Kangqi asked, "There is only one sealed star, so if they obtain this treasure, who will it belong to?" Well, that's true. So, who will own the treasure? The people there thought the same thing. Returning to the explanation, if their alliance would advance and break through various foreign racial groups, they would work together until they reached the sealed star. After that, the alliance would automatically be dissolved. Each of them would fight for the treasure with their own strength. And if anyone betrayed the alliance agreement, Tianzhen promised to kill the traitor for the sake of his brothers in arms. Next, Tianzhen will provide a strategy for team formation. When moving through foreign races, the team will be divided into 100 people per team, for a total of 10 teams. Hearing this, Luofeng was amazed by Tianzhen. Even though he only said a few words, he was able to unite everyone's hearts. This shows that Tianzhen's leadership qualities are extraordinary.
天真王的领导力果真以100人为一编队，共分10队，不凡。
From the vortex, the sealed star became clearer, causing the warriors to be on high alert. Like a flicked marble, the spherical sealed star suddenly flew into the air. When everyone tried to get closer to the treasure, suddenly the forbidden area was sealed off, rendering teleportation impossible. This forced the warriors to fight each other first, before they could take the treasure, which couldn't even be transported home using teleportation. And of course, eventually a battle broke out, while Luofeng and Zhang Jian focused on flying toward the location of the sealed star, avoiding every attack that came their way. This is what happens when one ball is fought over by hundreds of thousands of people, making the situation even more chaotic. It is said that the weight of the treasure is as heavy as a large planet. Therefore, many warriors flocked to the surface of the giant blue ball, but they could not transport it or put it into storage. Moreover, the situation around them was becoming increasingly chaotic. Luofeng, who had also landed there, began to wonder how he could possibly control his treasure in such circumstances. Various attacks now fill the air, as well as the area below, which is where the valuable treasures have fallen, and that is precisely where the most dangerous area is. The blue vortex chasm is shrouded in a terrifying power, which is possessed by the Star Tower. Once touched, even warriors who have reached the limit of the Immortal King will be instantly destroyed. In this dangerous place, the battle is also very intense. Even in the midst of battle, some are excited because they can get a lot of treasure dropped by dead warriors. Likewise, the powerful legion and enemies whose presence is very threatening are just waiting around the perimeter, between the middle of the sealed star's fall. They appear to be still and will only move when the right moment comes. Seeing the enemies from various races there, the powerful figure understood very well that they must not take action before 1,000 exits appeared there. So even if they managed to obtain the sealed star, they would become the target of various races and more powerful figures. If 1,000 exits appeared, it would automatically signal the complete opening of the sealed star, and there would be a massacre in the surrounding area. As for those who wanted to retreat, they would go to the safer forbidden space. But waiting like that could only be done by strong warriors, said Tianzhen. If weak warriors like them wanted to get the sealed star, they had to act earlier. The longer they waited, the fewer chances they would have. Luofeng, who was slashing enemies around him, seemed to have collected a lot of treasure. After only a few minutes of fighting, Luofeng had already obtained treasures worth hundreds of billions of Hun Yuan. No wonder people were killing each other there. Because it wasn't just the sealed star that provided benefits. Defeating enemies also allowed one to profit greatly. On the other hand, King Lifefall, from the machine race that had previously discussed the secret plan, found that obtaining the sealed star was only a secondary concern. In the operation he was carrying out this time, his main target was to kill King Seven Blade. Taking out a treasure, King Lifefall then gathered the power of his troops to unleash a large-diameter, long-range laser attack aimed directly at King Sevenblade. The treasure that the machine race used was called the Decomposition Tower. It was known that if someone was hit by this attack, they would immediately turn into small dust particles. The biggest reason why the machine race targeted King Sevenblade was because he was third on the machine race's assassination list. If he succeeded in killing him, King Lifefall would also receive a large reward. He also hoped that if Luofeng, who was at the top of the assassination list, was present, he would be able to earn a significant amount of money. However, he was unaware that the person he had just mentioned was actually present. Even though the enemy launched an attack with a heavy treasure, it would not necessarily kill King Sevenblade. He not only possessed treasures such as the famous Void Grip, but it was said that King Sevenblade also had treasures inherited from the greatest power in the universe, the Ancestral God Sect. King Sevenblade instructed his troops to gather their strength before finally taking out an item that looked similar to Luofeng's. Although it was of a different type, the treasure was the Beast God statue from the Ancestral God Sect. In public, this was the first time King Sevenblade had taken out his trump card. After gathering energy from all his troops, the Beast God statue formed a protective barrier capable of withstanding the opponent's green laser attack. It is known that the Decomposition Tower is one of the heavy treasures possessed by the machine race. Therefore, King Lifefall formed a plan from the beginning and was very confident that he could defeat his target. But King Lifefall did not know that his target had a trump card up his sleeve. The treasure, known as the Beast God Statue Golden Pond, was capable of withstanding the opponent's concentrated full attack and had proven to be far stronger than the Decomposition Tower. After the collision of energy from the two powerful forces, the sealed star shifted toward Luofeng, causing his group to instantly dodge. In an instant, energy from the blue vortex entered the sealed star and instantly destroyed any creature that came into contact with it. Okay guys, thank you for watching until the end. And don't forget to support this channel with likes, subscribe, and comments. That's all from me. Bye.
我遭到了灵魂攻击，有敌人，已经82亿年了，你只能大家小心！我在这等你，牵制住2名妖族，饶河，快！这次我可真要一步登王！交给我了，问天发的是你，敌人入口出现了，这一切绝非巧用外合，杨，你这么做不是一次？可恶！孩子，来吧！灵魂的疼痛越来越强。